Hello, I'm Dr. Eric Tangumonkem, the president of IEM APPROACH, where we inspire, equip, and motivate people to discover God's great potential in them, develop that potential, and deploy it. I'm originally from Cameroon in West Africa, trained as a geoscientist, but I found my passion in inspiring, motivating, and equipping people. And that is expressed through writing and publishing. I like to help people grow and develop personally, find out who they are, and get behind it. Definitely, I think whenever you are born in a place and you grow up with memories, you're never going to outlive those memories that are always with you. There are times that I wish I was in Africa, the usual smells and the sights that I grew up seeing. But right now, I look at the mission that is ahead of me. It comforts me because my mission is to touch people across the entire world. So being out here has given me that platform and the exposure for me to do that. And so for you to move forward, you have to make some sacrifices. In my own case, some of the sacrifices of letting go of the sights and smells of Africa. But the good thing is that when you succeed in your mission, you will be able to go back to those childhood memories and places. It's going to be easier for me to move back and forth to Africa whenever I want if I miss something. So I'm excited to be here. It's a new day, and this is the greatest time ever to be living on planet Earth. When I was raised, the instructions my parents gave to us was to go to school, get good grades, graduate, and get a good job. And that is what I did. I came out here after I had my first degree and a master's in Cameroon. I came to the US and got my Ph.D. in Geosciences, went into the oil and gas industry where I worked for 8 years. Along the line, I started having this feeling in me that there is more in life than just working in oil and gas. I found my passion. After I got laid off in 2009 and 2016, it dawned on me that I cannot allow my future into the hands of other people. I had to take charge. And so I found my passion is to write, is to inspire people. And that is why I started writing. Written 12 books and counting. And I'm excited when it comes to inspiring people, when it comes to empowering people. And it's just brought me a lot of reward. Now, this is the book we're going to be talking about. Welcome to America, 52 proven strategies that will position you to excel as an immigrant. I've been living in the US for almost 2 decades. The first 10 years, I did not save a dime. I did not know if I was going to live in the US or go back to Cameroon. And because of that, I missed a lot. 2 years ago, I was running with my wife in the morning. We're just talking about the challenges that immigrants face, our own personal challenges, and the difficulties we've had to go through. And then my wife just dropped the idea in my mind. You're a writer. Why don't you write about these challenges and help other immigrants to avoid the same mistakes that you have made, we've made, and other people have made? What prompted me to write a book is it is not enough for you to show up in the US or in Europe or wherever you migrate to. Showing up is just, let's say, 30% of what you need to know. You need to be prepared. You need a game plan from day one. If not, you are going to waste time. You're going to waste your life. I remember meeting somebody here. He was in his 60s, driving a shuttle. He picked me at the airport, and I started talking to him. This guy was from some East African country, and he said when he came to the US initially, his plan was to go back. He studied taxation, and he thought he was going to use that taxation back to help his country grow. And he got stuck here. 60 years counting, he's still thinking of going back, but there isn't anything to show that he's ever going to go back. And that is why it's crucial. When you get here, day one, you need to sit down and come out with a plan and execute it. If you're going to stay here permanently, you need to know that. If you're going to move back to where you came from, you need to know that. I touch on a lot of different areas, 52 of them, one for each week of the year. That if you work on all those different areas, nothing is going to stop you. You're going to do well in this country. This is one of the greatest places to be right now. But if you don't have a plan, it's not going to do you any good. So I'm an African, and I couldn't write a book without thinking about people that look like me. That is one part of the book. The other part of the book is for every immigrant that is in the United States, in Australia, in Germany, in the UK, anywhere you have immigrants. Yes, I'm bent towards the United States, but the principles I'm sharing in this book, for example, having a vision, having a plan, expanding your network, learning the history of the country that you've moved to, they are universal. Whenever you move somewhere, if you want to do well, it is important that you follow these principles. You need to branch out. You need to make new friends. You need to study. You need to learn about the history. You need to get involved in the political process. You need to learn how to vote. You need to decide if you're going to stay in that country or you're going to move somewhere else. So all this applies not just to immigrants from Africa, but if you're from Africa, there are some specific ideas in there that are going to help you. For example, sending money back home, getting married, and staying with relatives. A lot of people stay with relatives and fall out. I have a plan that will work for everybody. We need to have some of these conversations, and this is just a beginning for us to help so that we can really do well. Take, for example, some of us don't turn off our phones in the night. We sleep with them. People call us at very odd hours. After a long day at work, you don't get enough rest. It's killing us. So we need to understand all these things so the whole community can thrive and do well. For example, I stayed with my younger brother, and we had some disagreements because there was no plan when he showed up here. And that has been one of the impetus that pushed me to write the book. I want to help people do well. There are lots of marriages that are falling apart. We have couples that are here and unheard of. Some of our men have shot their wives and things like that. They are the pressures of living abroad. And resources like this are going to help mitigate and reduce some of these things from happening. Because there is a chapter on if you are not yet married and you want to get married, what you need to consider. Because the more you stay in a place, the more you change. And so some of us are here, you just go out there, you grab a wife or grab a husband, you don't know that the two of you are very different. It's important to factor all that in when you are trying to make those life-changing decisions. Thank you for that question. I think somebody told me not too long ago, I was listening to a program, and the guy said thieves break into his house, and he had his money hidden in the books. The thieves carried everything else, and they didn't touch the books. And people have jokingly said that if you want to hide something from an African, you should put it in the book. I think this is very, very, very unfortunate. Leaders, read. I want to plead. I'm begging. If you are not reading, you are not growing. If you are not reading, people are going to take advantage of you. If you are not reading, you are going to stay stunted. I don't care the degrees you have. I don't care how many certificates you have. If you're not reading consistently, if you're not reading all the time, a lot is going to be hidden from you. You talk about reading. When you read, you grow. When you read, you have ideas. And I always challenge people. Read a book. Learn just one thing from that book and actually use it. If you do that, you are going to go places. By the time you read 100 books, you will be 100 times better than you were before. I'm a living example. I wrote 18 books. Let me say it again, 18 books last year, because I read one book and it gave me the secret to multiplying whatever you are doing. I read one book and I started my publishing company. You need to read all the time. And this is a very important resource. Some of the chapters are just one page. I made it simple so that people can read it, something that you can consult any area that you want. You can read a book in any order. Open a page, read it, some ideas for you, how to start a business, life insurance, how to have a will, and all that. So at least you have something to refer to so that you have a plan, and it's going to help you really do well. We have to start reading so that we can grow and become powerful. Now, as I said, there are 52 chapters in this book, and it's a life-changing book. My almost 20 years in the United States, I have summarized what I think, distilled the secret, distilled the principles that will help you do well. It is not enough to show up. You need to have a plan. Benjamin Franklin said that when you don't have a plan, you are planning to fail. I don't want us to blame racism and blame other obstacles when we've not done our own homework. You need to be prepared, and this is going to help you do well. You can get the book on Amazon and all the other online book retail outlets. Or you go to my website, www.erictangumonkem.com. www.erictangumonkem.com. You can get the book from there.